Welcome to Synthetic Oil Protection. I'm your host Eben, and today we're back talking about 5 reasons you should use AMSOIL 100% synthetic motor oil in your bike. And we're back following up with Richard, and Richard has this beautiful Honda Valkyrie Rune, and we're going to go ahead and put that video of his first oil change right up here in the corner, so check out that video. Well, let's go ahead and kick off the video.
Yeah.
All right, if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. Tap the notification bell, that way you can come back and watch all this important information for your vehicle later. So the first reason to run AMSOIL 100% synthetic motor oil is because of the film strength. Motorcycles run a lot hotter than the other vehicles, and about 60% of motorcycle riders don't even know there's a difference with motorcycle oil. You'll see the Harley and what some of the temperatures can get up to in an air-cooled engine. So the engine we're doing today, which is Richard's bike, is a liquid-cooled, and we're going to be go ahead and nailing out that oil. Now, Richard, tell us, how many miles has it been since you did the oil change?
It's been about 12,000 miles.
12,000?
Oil change. 12,000!
We got our 17 mil socket, and we just got done cracking her loose. I'll show you what we got. The bolt, drain bolt's right here at the bottom, pretty easy on this bike. And we just started wrenching her here, we're good. So now we're gonna go ahead, grab our socket, and just loosen her up. So Richard's on the camera right now. How many miles are on this oil, Richard?
About 12,000 miles.
All right, here we go. You're gonna see a 12,000 mile oil change. In how many months would you say?
A little over 13.
And there she blows. Awesome. Drain bolt, 17 mil. Let her drain down. We'll pop off our filter, and it'll be time to go ahead and feel her up. So you can see the color of her. Definitely have some color here. I actually recommend changing the oil filter at about 10,000. Now you can actually run a lot of these motor oils well over double OEM. You just want to make sure you do an oil analysis. So always check your oil if you're going to be doing over double the OEM interval. All right, the other great thing about this little plastic bin I got is you can let the small stuff splooge onto it, so you're good. We got our standard oil filter wrench, and all we do is crack our filter. You'll see it right here. Just lift up on her, and that's it. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we should be able to get her by finger. See how hot she is. And she is, she's not that bad. All right. And this is how it is on most motorcycles. It's pretty darn easy to change the oil. So, and all you do is once a year. And another benefit with the AMSOIL is it holds up really good with the ethanol, because it has extra additives in it. There we are. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Gotta watch that cowl. And she is out of there. And there's our filter. You can see how good looking the anti-drain back valve is on the AMSOIL filter. It filters at 99% efficiency at 20 microns. It's got upgraded synthetic medium filter, and that holds 4 times more contaminants than cellulose paper filters. So this filter is good for double OEM, and you got the upgraded anti-drain back valve, which is made out of a special silicone that doesn't deform with heat. And when it deforms, it actually lets it drain back out. So on a cold start, this engine will start much easier. Also, the back plating is thicker, and this is thicker from getting hit by rocks. So it's a much upgrade over OEM, and well, your engine will last a lot longer. Second thing that makes AMSOIL motorcycle oil different is it's good for high RPM. You'll see here a lot of bikes rev out to 20,000 RPM. Now this one here doesn't rev out quite that much, but it is important because it can shear the oil. When pieces of metal come together at high RPM, it actually sandwiches and actually pinches the oil, separates it. Once it's compromised, you lose your film strength. You get metal on metal, lots of wear scars, boom, you blow your engine. You don't want that. So you put in the 100% synthetic, and this is compatible with all these specifications. You can see them there. And you'll notice less clunking, better shifting, all different stuff like that on your motorcycle. And I'm going to put a playlist to that right up here in the corner. You'll see that there. So now what do? We go ahead and feel her up. So we come in with the liquid gold, nice crazy tall pours, and we're going to fill her up halfway. And that way we won't lose it all. And now we're going to rotate her. So how do you rotate her? You come in with 2 finger, get her nice and wet. It's always a sure bet to get her nice and wet. Make sure your threads are good, hit your rubbers, and now I rotate her on an angle, and that really saturates the medium. And a lot of time we get a little more messy than expected, but hey, it ain't fun if it ain't messy, and it ain't messy if it ain't fun. And that's why we always say, the wetter, the better. And she'll always be happy with that. So we got her nice and lubed. She'll thread on like butter. Now I got a lot of good confidence. I'm going to go ahead and just wipe her a little. And now we come down and thread her on. Here we go. So come on over. And we're going to go in sideways. Our mating surface is nice and clean. I'm not worried about anything there. So we are ready to thread. So we're going to come up and just start threading on. And if you lose a little bit, nothing to fret about. Just be careful with your threads. And now we'll use our towel to get some better grip, because this lube is so slippery. Just as slippery as can be. And I like using the red shop towels. These have some pretty good grip. And then when you tighten this down, you don't have to go very tight. You go about 8 to 12 pounds of torque, which is about 3/4 of a turn past when it touches. So it just touched, and now you just go about 3/4 of a turn right there, and that's it. You wipe her up. Shaboo-boo. The box of the oil filter. This is the part number. Filters at 99% efficiency at 20 microns, and this is the diagram that shows you turn it 3/4 of a turn after it touches the rubber. This silicone is very soft, and you don't need a ton of pressure to mate it, and that way you'll be able to get it off next time without cutting into the filter and all kinds of stuff like that, because the suction actually pulls the sucker in. Third reason to use AMSOIL motorcycle oil is because motorcycles have increased power density and stress per cubic inch. So for instance, to kind of put that into words, for every 18 degrees, a lubricant runs hotter, whether it's ATF fluid or motorcycle oil, it oxidizes at double the rate. So you got your car motor oil, it's usually around 190 to 210, and then you have a bike like this, could get up in the 230s, you're doing some super psychotic highway pulls, you can even nail out 265, even the Harleys can get up to 383, and that's pretty normal for idling around slow without wind going over the fins, the air fins. So definitely something to consider with your motorcycle, and it's definitely important to have that film strength. The fourth reason is because the motorcycle oil on a lot of motorcycles actually protects the transmission as well. So you'll see here, it's actually got a double duty. So on your car, it just runs through the motor. Here, it's actually a big portion of your shifting quality. So it's so important if you want to keep those shifts, you want to make sure your oils are really good quality oil. All right, time to feel her up. We're going to go ahead and pop her loose here. We already got her nice and loose. Just finger thread her out. Now this is a pretty cool dipstick in a special motorcycle. Pretty exclusive, the Honda Valkyrie Rune. See, all nice stainless. And you can see that old oil, how good it still looks. Yeah, the oil just doesn't break down. It's amazing when you switch over to the AMSOIL. And now we're going to go ahead and feel her up. It's my favorite part. Sticking in the liquid gold. You got it, Richard?
I got it.
The cameraman's got it. Let's do it. Here we go. We're going to start low, then bring her up. You can see that liquid gold going. Oh yeah.
Whoa.
And it's so good, you can actually feel the protection. We're on our second quart. This little angel takes 3.9 quarts. We're gonna bring her up. Yeah, that's good. All right, and on to the fifth reason to use AMSOIL and reason to use motorcycle oil is because of these motorcycle specifications. They actually have their own spec, and that is for doing storage. So a lot of motorcycles are stored a lot, and it's really important because ethanol breaks that down over time. So that's another reason to use a good oil. So now what we're going to do with Richard, well, we're going to go ahead and throw in our really good stuff. So come on over. We got our AMSOIL Quick Shot. Now this is a fuel additive that you can put in every 100 idling hours, and it treats and helps with ethanol breakdown. Go ahead and flip it around, Richard. Treats 5 gallons of gas, and this can be used in your ATVs, UTVs up to 6 gallons, and up to 12 as a maintainer. And it's really, really great for all different types of things, from your valves to cleaning your injectors to getting the carbon deposits out of the combustion chamber. So those build up over time. And well, Richard, we'll give you the honors of throwing in this this beautiful additive. Let's do it. I don't even know how this thing opens. So Richard, share with them how many years you've been using AMSOIL now.
Been using AMSOIL for 3 years now.
All right.
You know, Valkyries have this, their 1800cc engine. There's 6 cylinders, the flat 6, and all the valves and cylinders kind of go out. They have this tapping that they're synonymous for having. You just hear this little tap, 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 tap. It's not like a valve tap when an engine's going bad. It's just a normal sound of the engine. But I've noticed since I've used AMSOIL that my tapping is a little quieter.
Wow. What about shifting feel?
I haven't noticed a difference, but I gotta say this bike has 40,000-ish miles on it, and it feels the same now as when I started riding it 7,000 miles.
Wow.
So it's smooth all the way from the bottom up. Sometimes I might forget to downshift at a light. I'll be at the light in 5th gear, and if I feather the clutch right, I can go from 0 all the way to 120 in 1 gear.
Wow, that's some torque.
Well, and the bike doesn't care, and I really think the oil helps with that. Oh, I gotta take this off.
Pop off the safety seal.
Pour that in.
There she goes.
And then fill up my tank at the next gas station.
Beautiful. And that's a great additive that you can put in, every 100 idle hours.
Now, Eben,
yeah,
can I put that additive in with just a half a tank of gas?
Of course you can. It won't hurt anything. It's better to run it through more gallons. It'll help clean it a little longer. I found when I use the PI cleaner in cars or that, you want to run it in about 5 gallons or more. But even in a car, you're still not going to hurt nothing, and you can even use that in your car. But this is primarily for your power sports equipment, ATVs, UTVs, motorcycles, and the like.
Thanks, Eben.
Yeah. So what else, Richard? Any other subtleties you want to add in for anyone that's thinking about trying the AMSOIL products?
I mean, just do it. This is my daily driver,
all right,
and it's nice to know that I can drive it in the city every single day, and I can go for almost a year without thinking about changing my oil. And that's great if your motorcycle is your daily driver, because maybe you're just going to get an itch and want to go for a ride on the weekend, and you're going to put 2,000 miles on it that weekend.
I like it.
You'd have to go change your oil afterward. Not if you're on AMSOIL.
Yep. Now, Richard, tell them how much oil burned off on this oil change.
I don't think any did.
So you didn't add any oil?
I mean, it was just the 4 quarts that it asked for, and then we filled up the old bottles, or the new bottles with the old oil, and they filled all the way up.
All right, so there you go. And now I want to show the viscosity protection with the Harley oil. So this is compared to the Screamin' Eagle OEM oil, so it's 6 times better, the Harley Davidson oil. So that's the actual difference from AMSOIL to an OEM, to kind of show what the difference from 100% synthetic is. And then the other thing I wanted to show was the AMSOIL Preferred Customer Magazine. If you wanted to try the products, I have my personal link in the description section below and in the comment section. And this is how Richard gets it. It's the Preferred Customer Program. And, well, Richard, how would you describe it?
I prefer it.
Richard prefers it. So there you go. So here's the booklet. It goes through all the products, from differential fluid all the way to cars, and it shows even the motor oil, the difference from the wear scarring compared to OEM, and also the oil viscosity breakdown, how it's better than the other oils. And here is one on the viscosity. So you can see quite a difference. And they actually send this out quarterly, and this happens to be the summer edition. So every single quarter this is going out. I wanted to mention 2 playlists. There's a playlist right here. That is to all the motorcycle oils we've changed on the channel. We also have a Harley fluids we've done. And then this playlist down here, that is what YouTube wants you to check out next. And well, Richard, thank you for being a part of the channel.
Thanks for having me, Eben.
And we'll make a little cheers to protection, protection, protection. We'll see you back next time.